far beyond just meeting women and pickup, but deeper into it with relationships, right? Like the real stuff that you can only understand if you've lived it. It's not the type of stuff that is just, found in a book somewhere. This is that, really deep understanding, deep psychology. So yeah, I appreciate you jumping on, King.
How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. A quick question. Is this going to be recorded?
Yeah, I'm gonna start. I just started recording a second ago.
All right. Cool. Just let me know when you're ready for me to roll.
Yeah, man. Whenever you're ready, let's get it going.
All right. Cool. All right. I'm ready. So how's everybody going? How's everybody doing? Everybody good? Does this have like Zoom where you can raise your hand and stuff like that?
Yeah. They can. There's a chat box. They can raise hands and shit too.
Okay. Yeah, I see it. All right. Yeah. So you guys, I want this to kind of be interactive. I don't want it to be like a long lecture and then the Q&A at the end. So like if you guys are hearing things that you have more questions about, I think it would be better if you ask them, just raise your hands and ask them in the moment, and then I can kind of break it down further. A lot of this stuff is not over the counter type of information because this is not something that you can just wake up and talk. And it's not something that you can just wake up, whereas you can watch a pickup video and say, okay, you can go say this to that girl, escalate like this. This isn't that type of material. Like you have to, this comes from, the field. And so a lot of it may be counterintuitive and a lot of it may go against things that you were taught or things that society taught you. So if you need more understanding of what I'm saying, just raise your hands and we can kind of do it interactive. But I'm King Dre. I've been doing this, a men's dating coach, since 2018. I came into the space on 2018. I initially wanted to write a book to kind of help men be more player. In fact, my first email for my business was how to be a player at gmail.com. And I still have it to this day. But I wanted to write a book. And so it was a situation that kind of led me to want to do that. But I wanted to write a book because I was afraid that people, this was 2018. So I didn't really know much about like the YouTube world and the manosphere and things like that. And so I was afraid that people wouldn't like me, or I was afraid that people wouldn't receive me well because I was very, very much rough around the edges back then. And so I just didn't believe that people would, take well to me. So I was like, I'm gonna just write a book. But I was like, how am I gonna sell the book? Well, you got to make YouTube content because people wasn't using Instagram for stuff like this. So I was like, well, okay. So I, sat on it for 6 or 7 months. And one day I just did it. Made my first YouTube video. Got like 5 views, me and the 4 other bitches that I sent it to watch it. Me and the 4 other women that I sent it to watch it. And then, I just kept being consistent and I grew an audience. Now I have 1.2 million followers on TikTok, 210,000 followers on Instagram, another 105,000 followers on another Instagram account, 200,000 followers on Facebook, 70,000 followers on YouTube. YouTube's pretty hard. YouTube is a different beast, but well respected, pretty much the authority in what I talk about and what I do. Been around for a long time. So yeah, that's that. Now, my specialty is seduction and making women fall in love. And there's a story behind that. Growing up, I come from inner city. I wasn't like poor, like dirt poor, but I had a good childhood, at least to my standard. But my dad was in prison. My dad went to prison when I was like 6, so my mother raised me. I didn't have a nurturing mother. I didn't have, like, my mother loved me. She spoke life into me, told me I could be anything I wanted to be. But I was raised based on, like, it was like she wanted to be a dad because I didn't have my dad. So I was more so raised on respect, hard work, honesty, integrity, that type of shit. Like it wasn't, where most moms are like loving, caring. Oh, baby, how you doing? I love you so much. My mom wasn't like that, but she was very loving, but it was just tough love. I had everything that I wanted and needed, but I didn't get the soft nurturing, baby, are you okay? Just that soft mama's boy shit. I didn't get that. And so, and this is in hindsight, but I went through my whole life and I built my whole style in dealing with women and getting that from women, right? So my whole thing was I wanted to get women to serve me. I wanted to get women to fall in love with me. I wanted to get women to be nurturing and soft and sweet to me. Now, in my mind at the time, when I was a teenager, the whole the way I grew up, it didn't correlate to that, but this is years later and reflecting. But that was my whole style was based on that. And we just getting to the meat of how I know what I'm talking about and how I'm able to teach this type of stuff. But my whole style in coming up was getting women to love me, getting women to do things for me, getting women to pour into me, right? My whole style was built around that. And that's what I set out to do. Now, coupled with, I wasn't at the best athletic kid. I wasn't the best looking. I wasn't the best. Like I wasn't the alpha male. I was an okay kid. I was cool or whatever, but I wasn't the top dog. Like I wasn't the jock in high school or the drug dealer. I was none of that. But so I had to compete because in my environment back then, at least in my environment, we really pretty much had nothing. And the only way you kind of had a name if you was getting bitches or if you was getting hoes or whatever we called it back then. That's the only way. That was our only barometer of you meant something. If you dressed good or, you was good at sports or you had women or money. And so I had to find a way to compete, and my environment, if you wasn't getting pussy, you was pretty much a lame, like you were a lame and you kind of got outcast amongst the peers. So that was a motivator to get women. And so, but I understood that I needed to compete. And so with this lack of nurturing softness from my mother, that's what I developed my style around. Now, fast forward into adulthood, I take the alternative route. Most people go to college, go finish high school, they go to college, they do things by the book. I didn't do things by the book. I did things my way. I made my life extremely hard because of that. In doing so, a lot of times men from my community and my environment have to depend on women to, get a house in your name or get an apartment in your name or drive their cars or get their tax checks or whatever the case may be. And a woman is not going to do that unless she loves you. And so that was another motivator too. We kind of depended on women to, those of us who took the alternative route, because you can't get a car in your name if you ain't got credit, or you can't get an apartment in your name, if you don't have good credit and a work history and stuff like that. So you depend on the women. You trick a woman into liking you, to putting something in her name for you, that type of thing. And so with that, you also learn how to get women to open up and love you and do anything for you and do everything for you, if that makes sense. And so I spent my whole life doing that. Got a lot of scars and bruises and, because I did it the wrong way, which I know I learned how to do it the right way. A lot of scars and bruises, a lot of pain, so, but that's my story. I didn't get my life together financially. I'm 41 until I started doing this 6 or 7 years ago. Started doing this 8 years ago, but once I started making money doing it, then I got my life together. Actually, I was the guy where your parents tell you, don't chase ass, don't chase your friends, don't, build your life because you're going to wish you did in your 30s and 40s. I didn't listen to that. And I wished I did at one point. Whereas a lot of guys, they neglect their dating life and they come to me in their 30s and 40s. They have everything together, but they don't know how to get women. So I was the complete opposite of that. And so here I am. I've dealt with countless women, long-term relationships, countless flings, that stuff, that thing. But my specialty was getting women to fall in love with me and serve me and be submissive and soft and sweet and nurturing. And the sole driver of that is because I think subconsciously I was missing that in my childhood. And that's not to rag on my mom. I love my mom. She did her best. And I would rather be what she raised me to be than have be a mama's boy. But I think, biologically and psychologically, that's something that I needed. And I look for that in women. And so I developed a way to get it from them. So here we are today. I teach men how to do the same thing, but in an ethical way, not conniving, not playing games. I'm against playing games. I'm against exploiting people. And I'm very much against treating people poorly. So here I am. Justin, you got a question before I get into it? I know that was kind of long, but I just wanted to set the stage if you guys don't mind. Justin Herbert, you got a question, my brother?
Yeah, he's got his hand up. I don't know if it's legit or not.
Okay.
I'm going to lower it.
Okay. Now, the problem that I see most, or the problem that most men have in this society is being able to keep women around, being able to retain women. A lot of guys have problems getting laid or whatever, but to be honest, and I may take it for granted because of my experience, but it's easier to sleep with a woman than to make $100. It's not hard to sleep with a woman, especially a whore or a woman who's, like casual sex. All you got to do, the hard part is knowing who are like that, but sleeping with a woman is extremely easy. But getting a woman to be in a fulfilling relationship where it's balanced and both parties benefit is not so easy. And most men in this country are with women who don't like them, who don't love them. And women do have the ability, the king, God-given or devil-given ability to be with a man that she does not like in order for survival. We see it all the time. You see women wake up, especially TikTok nowadays, you see women waking up saying, well, I just was a feeling, I just wanted to be happy. And, he's the perfect man. He's the golden retriever. He loves me. He adores me. But I just know he's not my man. He's a good man, but that's where that comes from. Guys not being able to connect with women on a love level, and basically guys being utility servants to a woman until she's used them up. And that is the majority of guys' fate in this society, especially in America. But it don't have to be like that. You understand? So it's important that you learn how to make women fall in love with you. And I use make women fall in love with you, but it's not, I don't mean it like force, like, club her over the head like a caveman and it's like, bitch. It's not that, but basically, manufacture love. Love is manufactured. Now, of course, the woman has to be attracted to you, right? You can't make somebody like you that don't like you. But if a woman is attracted to you and open to you, you can manufacture love. Love can very much be manufactured. Just like you can manufacture anger, you can make somebody angry, you can make somebody excited, you can make somebody respect you, you can make somebody anxious, you can make somebody love you, right? And so with that skill, you'll pretty much be, you won't have the problems that most men have in getting with women and being a utility and being cheated on and things like that. So most men are going through that. Now, the first thing to understand is love is not a luxury, right? In matters of love, men and women are entitled. Like women think they're entitled to your time, your attention, and your money. Women think that they're entitled. They truly believe that they're entitled to that. Men believe we are entitled to women's sex and their bodies and their submission. When you have an entitled mindset, you show up with your hand and your dick out, expecting something from somebody. And when you don't get it, it kind of makes you bitter, right? And you're not showing up doing what's necessary to get what you want out of a person. And so you just sit back being lazy and expecting something, and you can't do that. And so once you understand that, now you can set the foundation to what I would say, put your game down, meaning, operate how you're supposed to operate to get what you want, which is a healthy relationship, a woman who loves you, a woman who's submissive or whatever, and a woman who respects you, and a woman who's following your lead. But you can't just show up and think that just because you're a man that's going to happen. It doesn't work like that. I wish it worked like that, but it doesn't work like that. You have to be somebody, you have to have something and be somebody that somebody will be willing, that a woman would be willing to put her life on hold, right? All her dreams and desires and life, and mesh it into yours and follow your lead and give her life to you. That's not free. Now, you can't buy it with money, but it's not free. So most guys don't understand that because they have they're entitled. And so they lose, right? So now that that's out of the way, street components. And like I say, if anybody have any questions while I'm doing this, make sure you raise your hand. There's 3 components. Oh, go ahead, Franco.
Oh yeah, so humble ourselves basically.
No, we don't want to humble ourselves. We just want to understand that easy come, easy go, right? That's a story for another day. I don't want to say easy comes, easy go, because that's another can of worms, but it's true. Not humble yourself, but understand that nobody owes you anything. Okay. So understanding that when you look at yourself in the mirror, you say, why would somebody dedicate their life to me? Why would somebody ask me how high if I asked them to jump? What incentive do they have to do that when they could be being happy with their own life? Most guys don't think like that. Even in business, we understand in business that we have to provide value to people in order to spend money with us and become clients and give us their time, even to watch a fucking video. We have to provide them value, right? Relationships are no different. You have to provide people value. Now, most guys think that value is money, and that's not the value. Value can be emotional stability. Value can be chaos if a woman is chaotic. Value can be drama if a woman is dramatic. Value can be beating her ass if she likes jerks and abusive. Value can be hugs, the way you show up, but you have to provide something for somebody to stay there. It's a transaction at the end of the day, if that makes sense. So I'm not saying humble yourself, because we don't want to be humble. We don't want to be egotistical either. We want to be grounded, but nobody owes you anything. And love is not a luxury. Like love, men think that love is a God-given right, and it's not. We're not here to be loved. We're here to move, advance society, be productive, make the world a better place, and reproduce. That's what men are here to do. And we have companions along the way, helpmates along the way, which is women. But we're not here to be loved. Your parents loved you. Your parents are here to love you and guide you, but women are not here to love you, right? And so understanding that it is a luxury. If I said it's not a luxury, I meant it is a luxury. Love is a luxury. It's not the standard. Nobody owes it to you to love you. There's no woman that owes you love or loyalty. You have to show up and elicit that in people. Do y'all owe Brian money? No. Do you owe it to him to buy his program, to be in this group? You don't owe him shit. What does he have to do for you to be here? Giving you his time, giving him your time. He has to provide you value. I wouldn't mind providing some beating their ass value. You got brother, you're gonna go to jail, man. It's crazy out here. You're gonna go to jail, man. But the thing is, and I teach, this is something I teach as well. I teach how to find women that you don't have to go there with. Because a lot of guys, and this is a sidebar, a lot of guys try to change women. They try to put lipstick on a pig. You can't put lipstick on a pig. I already tried it. I tried it 1,000 times. You can't. You cannot put lipstick on a pig. So instead of trying to change a woman and trying to give her a dress code to follow, just find you a woman who don't dress like that. Easy peasy. And I've learned that I save myself a lot of drama, a lot of headache and heartache by, okay, this is my standard and I want a woman like this and I'm going to find a woman like this. And if she doesn't meet this, there's no deal. I can't fuck with her. I'm going to fuck her once or twice and that's it. I'm moving on to the next. So that's just a sidebar. You can't, because you can't control a woman by beating them. But, you know, yeah, so you can't put lipstick on a pig. Find a woman who is already who you want her to be. But anyway, yeah, so Franco, no, you don't have to, I'm not saying humble. You don't have to humble a woman. I mean, humble yourself. You just understand that love is a luxury. Right? So now that we know that, there's 3 components or 3 keys to where you need for love to happen, right? And the first one is respect. And this is something that a lot of men don't have, respect. If a woman does not love you, if a woman does not respect you, a woman cannot love you. She cannot be sexually attracted to you if she doesn't love you. And respect is basically a due regard for one's feelings, wishes, a due regard for one's feelings, one's wishes, traditions, and it's also basically having a high regard for a person, like a deep admiration. So you couple that, right? A person who has a deep admiration for you, and they have a due regard for the way that you do things, or your boundaries, or your lifestyle, or your mentality, or your rules. So that's what respect is. And if you don't have that in a relationship, no, the woman cannot be, she may can love you and care and be attached to you, but she can't be in love with you, and she cannot be sexually attracted to you. Don't ask me how I know, but I know this firsthand. It's not going to happen. So you have to establish respect early, and you have to maintain it throughout the course of your relationship. Right. And I'm not saying you have to micromanage a woman, because we don't micromanage women, but you have to make sure that that respect is intact at all times. You never will allow a woman to disrespect you, ever. You never accept disrespect from a woman, ever. A lot of these guys, and I'm going to sidebar, I have a lot of criticism with the things that men teach in this community, in this space, and it just sets men up for failure. For example, the whole shit test thing, right? Are you guys familiar with shit tests and all that? Like, type in the chat or raise your hand. You familiar with this thing called shit tests and all of this? The overwhelming majority of the things that these men call shit tests is just disrespect. But it doesn't feel good to the ego to say, well, she was disrespecting me. So it feels better to say, oh, she was shit testing me, and I have to pass a shit test. No, she was not shit testing you. More than likely, she was disrespecting you. Now, do women play little games and test you? Yes, but the most common things that they call shit testing is disrespect. Like, there's one where they say, well, if you were a woman and she's, gropes over in celebrity to test you to see what she's going to do, see what you're going to do. That's disrespect. She's pushing your buttons, but it's disrespect. Or comparing you to an ex to see what you're going to do. That's disrespect. That's not no shit test. The jealousy test. It's not disrespect. I mean, it's not jealousy. It's disrespect. And if you allow a woman to do that for you in the beginning, the thing with behavior, especially bad behavior, is that it doesn't stagnate. Behavior is ever flowing. So behavior either gets better or it gets worse. And if anybody has children, you know this to be true. I have 4 children, and my oldest is 16. Behavior is not stagnant. If it's bad, it's gonna get worse. If it's good, it'll get better. But it's never stagnant. It always progresses. So if you have a woman disrespecting you a little bit, she's going to disrespect you a lot. So I don't do that whole shit test shit. I check a woman. If she called me out my name to see what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna check her. I'm not going to, oh, well, I don't want to appear insecure. I don't give a fuck what that bitch think about me. And I'm referring to her as a bitch because I don't call all women bitches. But if you disrespect a man, you're a bitch to me. So I'm going to check the bitch right where she stand at, because you're not gonna call me out my name. You're not gonna call me stupid. You're not gonna call me I don't give a fuck if you think I'm insecure or not. If you think I'm insecure, then go find you somebody that's more secure with themselves, because I don't care about being more tolerable to a hoe that don't like me or a hoe that don't respect me. So you have to maintain respect and don't allow women to disrespect you. Again, this whole shit test thing, most of it is disrespect. Now, for things like a woman not texting you back right away, that's not disrespect, because don't nobody owe you it to text you back, right? But you going out with a woman and, you know, she's teasing you, or, and I'm not saying you have to react negatively to a tease. You can tease her back. I'll roast you back. But she's going to flirt with another man in your face. That's crazy. That's bullshit. I don't give a fuck if we first met or it's my girlfriend. Absolutely not. I will leave your ass right there. Or if we on a date and she's talking about Chris Brown or Brad Pitt, okay, well, you call Brad Pitt and you tell him to pay this bill. We're not gonna do that, right? It's okay to check them, but if there's any resistance, all right, you know what, we're not gonna work. And you get up and you leave. You pay your half and you get up and you leave. But don't allow women to disrespect you, because I promise you, it's going to get worse. And disrespect starts small, and it ultimately ends up with cheating and putting your life in danger, putting your freedom in danger. That's the ultimate level of disrespect. But it escalates to that point if it's not checked, or if it's not stopped, or you don't leave. If a woman starts calling you out your name in the beginning, if you've ever been cheated on, anybody have been cheated on? I've been cheated on. Pretty sure everybody been cheated on. Has anybody been cheated on? You never been cheated on? Shit, you need to give me some of what you drinking, my guy. You need to be teaching this fucking class. Man, that's good. But if you've ever been cheated on, you know, if you think back on it, it started small. You understand? Shit, I would like to think, but you know, back in the days when I was younger, I would like to think I didn't date women who cheat either. But you know, I'm more wise now. But when I was younger, you know, I was arrogant, so I didn't, you know, I thought I knew better. But I kind of need women to be obsessed with me. I kind of need women to be obsessed with me before we're in a relationship. That doesn't lead to cheating. That's a mistake I made too. And I'll get to that too later, but I made that mistake too, and thinking that, oh, if she's obsessed with me, and obsession is just an unhealthy attachment. Obsession is not love. And obsession is rarely, when a person is obsessed with you, is rarely about you. Healthy love is cool. And this is something that I know. Obsession is rarely about you. It's about a deep void that a person has, and you are basically the host site for toxicity. Does that make sense? That's what obsession is about. So let's say you find crack, right? Or you find a drug, and we know that drugs are no good. And you find an unlimited source of drugs, or you find a cheap source of drugs. You're going to be attached to, if there's a tree that crack grew out of and you're addicted to crack, it's going to be hard. You're going to be obsessed with that tree. So that's what basically obsession is about. Our egos let us believe, and they lead us to believe that it's about us, and we just got it like that. You don't got it like that. If you cut that woman off, and you walked away from her for good, the same way she treated you and she was obsessed with you, it'll be another dude she's doing the same thing with. Obsession is really about you. So I just want you to know that. Don't get tricked out your heart, my guy. I've been there too. But anyway, back to respect. It leads to cheating. It starts small and it leads to eventually cheating and your life in danger. You ever see these shows Snap where the woman killed the guy, or the woman put the guy in jail, or whatever the case may be? That started from somewhere, just like cheating started from somewhere. And the thing with women is, cheating with women is rarely about, oh, it was a need and he left me vulnerable and I had this need. And it's not about that. They say that to make themselves feel better. It's because they don't respect you, right? A woman who respects you, that's a good woman. If she's lacking in a relationship and it's too much for her and it's a deal breaker, she'll leave you before she put herself in that position. She'll leave you before she disrespects you like that. Cheating from women is an act of disrespect, period, right? It's not needs-based. It's not, oh, it's my fault because I wasn't pleasing her. It's my fault because I wasn't satisfying her. That's bullshit. That's just to make you, that's gaslighting. it's an act of disrespect. And so what I'm saying is respect has to be there. In order for a woman to love you, in order for a woman to serve you, in order for a woman to be submissive to you, there has to be respect there. Like we don't, as humans, we don't submit to things we don't respect. Like we may go to work and comply to get a check, right? But we doing bullshit off the clock and we doing bullshit behind it. We're not basically submissive. But if you go to work and you respect your boss and you respect your company and you respect your employer, you pretty much, but most men are submissive anyway. And it's not a bad thing, but most men are not alpha leader type men. Most men are geared to be submissive, but we can't submit to things we don't respect. And that holds true for women. So a woman must respect you. Number one, establish respect early in the beginning. And you do that by, and again, if you guys have any questions, let me know. You do that by, number one, respecting yourself. Respect yourself. If you don't respect yourself, people are not going to respect you, especially women. And it would be nice if women were like, okay, I give respect to a dog. Respect is due to a dog. That's how I was raised. As a man, we give you respect, and then it's up to you to lose the respect. Most men, at least. Women don't operate like that. I wish they did, but you have respect for yourself, have boundaries, have a spine. Don't let them shit test you. Don't let them talk to you any kind of way. Don't let them play with your time. Don't let them, treat you any kind of way. Don't let them breadcrumb you. Don't let them treat you like you a trick. And a trick is basically a man that pays for a woman's, time or sex. Don't let them treat you like that. You're a man, and a man is to be respected, period. And if there's no respect, there's no us. That's my rule for anyone. If there's no respect, there's no us. You don't got to get up and cook for me. You don't got to do nothing for me. If you don't respect me, I can't fuck with you. My name is Andre. My name ain't nothing derogatory. My name ain't stupid. My name ain't you're immature. That's not my name. You're going to call me my name, which is fine. You're going to call me a pet name, or you're going to call me something in like that's uplifting. You're not going to call me anything derogatory. That's out. I don't care who you are, especially no woman, that I'm taking care of. So that's out. So you have to have that disposition from the beginning. A woman has to know, on a date, when a woman asks you, what's your deal breakers? Disrespect. It's a deal breaker for me. She has to know that. And the thing is, you got to stand on it. So when that woman cross your boundaries, you got to send her home and don't answer the phone for a couple of days. You got to be strong enough to do that so she can know this motherfucker not playing. Because if you don't stand on it, they're going to lose respect for you. So the first way to get respect is to respect yourself. Go ahead, Brian.
Well, I just wanted to ask a question about checking women.
Go ahead.
So how do you know when you're walking too fine of a line with, subtle disrespect, checking it, and then, whether you're putting her on ice for a day or 2 days or walking away completely? Because that's personally, for me, that's the tough part, is like, how far do I take it? Because at the end of the day, if you're with a woman and she disrespects you, you don't want her to disrespect you, but you're also kind of like fighting that you don't want to necessarily leave her either, No,
I want to leave her if she's disrespectful. I can't live like that, because I know what it's like to be in a relationship with a woman who don't respect me, that once respected me and that didn't no more. Now the disrespect, the disrespect came from, a lot of her lack of respect came from my actions. But I know what that's like, trying to fight to keep that alive, and it's not there, and it's not good at all, my guy. So I'm just saying, I don't want to keep no woman that's disrespectful. I don't give a fuck what, because it to me that nullifies everything. Because when you're not respected as a man, it chips away at your confidence. It chips away at it takes away from you as a man. It's basically emasculating, and it's another reason, like, gripe I have with the manosphere. They try to make us like we're superhumans, but we're human beings at the end of the day, and no one is above anxiety. No one is above losing confidence and losing themselves, and we're all susceptible to that. And so you have to protect yourself from that. And I protect myself from keeping disrespectful women away from me. So, but to answer your question, for me, so I have a code. Like, there's things I don't tolerate. And just depending on what it is. So let's say I'm just now meeting a woman. Let's say I'm just now meeting a woman and she calls me stupid and she don't know no better. I'll check her. Hey, listen, my name is Andre. My name ain't nothing else. I'm not stupid. I'm not your bitch. I'm not any of that. So we can't do the disrespect. I can't do that. And so you tripping, don't ever do that again. Now, if she understands that and accept that, you know what, my bad, cool. We can move on. If I get any resistance, she going on the bench, period. Any resistance, trying to argue, you sensitive, okay, well, hit me back when you get your mind right. And I put her on the bench for however I feel until she apologized. And if she never apologized, that's not the woman for me, because I don't want to be in a relationship with a woman who can't respect me. So she go on the bench until she apologizes, until she come back. And if you putting your game down the right way, they typically come back. If they see you standing on that, the thing is, a lot of guys are scared to stand on that. They scared to see a woman cry. I don't give a fuck if you cry. You can cry all you want to. They scared to be like, you know what, get your shit and get the fuck out of my house. Or they scared to get up and walk away out of a woman's house after all of they've invested. I will. They scared to get them long text messages and her popping up crying. Fuck that. Because that's how I feel when you don't respect me, when I put all my energy and effort into you and you don't respect me. So I don't give a fuck about that shit. You take that shit to God or whoever you got to take it to, but you're not going to be with me doing that, right? And so if they give me resistance about the respect, had to do that the other night, I guarantee you she come back crawling if you stand on it. I guarantee you're going to get the best sex of your life. I know. I teach that to my clients. If you stand on that, you get a whole new woman, but you have to keep standing on it. Now, women aren't perfect and you guys are going to clash. So when I say disrespect, I don't mean like conflict. Conflict is going to happen, but she needs to be respectful in the conflict. I don't care if a woman expresses to me how mad she is. I don't care if she, gets angry with me and screams at me, but my name is Andre. It's nothing else. And so if she doesn't know that, I'll give her the opportunity by checking her. Hey, we can't do that. This is built. We got to be respectful. And if I get resistance, okay, well, you got to go. And I'm not going to respond to you until you apologize, until you come back, bearing gifts, so to speak. And if you don't, then thank you, God, for getting a disrespectful woman out of my life. Because there's no pussy, servitude, money enough for me to be okay with living with a woman who don't respect me. That's the worst thing, a place a man can ever be, because that is going to cost you your life one day. So, but the severity is based on, you and your code. There's some disrespect that came back from, even if it's a first offense. Like, let's say I get into it with a woman. We've been dating for 6 months. We ain't really had no problems. And I get upset and I scream, right? Why, yeah, I'd be like, what the fuck? Da, da, da. And I lose my cool. But I'm not threatening her, or I'm not fucking being aggressive to her. So I'm just angry. And she's like, get out of my house. And then she called the police on me. She can't come back from that. If she hits me, she can't come back from that. If she deal with other dudes, she can't come back from that. That's not checking that. But a lot of the small disrespect, being flaking on your time, being super late, calling you out your name, that can be checked. But if you have to keep checking somebody, then they're not for you, because it's just going to, number one, if you have to keep checking them, eventually they're going to lose respect for you anyway, because you ain't standing on your square. As a man, you're not handling your business and having a backbone, and you allowing somebody to disrespect you. We think that the person who's disrespecting us don't see it the way that we would see it. And we think that we think that people don't, sorry, my phone going on, throwing me on. We think that the person that's disrespecting us don't apply to them, but they know that, okay, this dude is a bitch. Anybody ever bullied somebody? I ain't never been no bully, but I know you be roasting somebody and you kind of take it there for somebody and you cross the line and they don't do, you like, dude, a bitch. Like, women think like that. And so if you continuously running your mouth and saying, well, you can't do that. If you do that, then I'm gonna leave, and you don't do that, you're not keeping your word and you're not standing on your shit. So they lose respect for you. So if you got to keep doing that, they're not going to respect you. So you have to stand on it and you have to show them, I will sleep outside. I will be by my goddamn self. I will go to jail before I let you disrespect me. And they have to see that. You have to show them that. This is important because this is remember, respect is a deep admiration. And in order for somebody to open up to you and give you their life, when they can have a life of their own, there has to be a deep admiration there and also a due regard for your program. So love and in love, not love, but in love, googly eyed, sexual attraction can't exist where respect don't. Go ahead, Javon. Does that answer your question, Brian? It kind of went on.
Nah, you already answered my question, actually. My question was going to be, how do you determine when it's too far? So you kind of gave me your idea what boundaries look like.
Yeah.
So I did the right thing, for sure.
Yeah, so it's based on you. Like, it's just, I just know me. You can't call me out my name. So just based on what you can handle. And that's.
I can't hear you. Hold on. Go ahead.
I say that's just based on you and what you can handle. You know, there's some standard things that you shouldn't allow as a man. Like you shouldn't allow other men in your space. You shouldn't allow your woman to talk to other men, entertain other men, put herself up for sale, do dumb shit. You shouldn't allow your woman to speak negatively about you to other people, even if she been into home girl, because that's a deal breaker for me. Like if I go through it with a woman and she posts my drama on social media or she tells somebody and put somebody in my business, that's a deal breaker for me. That's disrespectful to me. Right? Broadcasting my failures. Oh, he lost his job. He can't get it right. That's broadcasting my failures. That's very disrespectful to me. So it's just based on you having a code as a man and what you can and can't tolerate. I can't tolerate somebody calling me out my name. I can't tolerate other dudes. I can't tolerate it. So, and how severe it is just depends on you. But don't allow people to disrespect you or women because it's going to get bad. And if they don't accept it, and not only accept it, apologize and acknowledge it, don't allow them back. Because if you allow them back, you're showing them, okay, this is okay to do. And ain't nobody listening to nothing you say. People are listening to what you do. So, Brian, did that answer your question?
Yeah, well, the biggest thing I struggle with is recognizing that disrespect in some regards comes on a spectrum. It can be all the way from cheating on you to calling you out your name to having a little bit of a tone. And that's where I struggle is with the little nuance, figuring out how that's handled, because it's not the same for each of them. If it's cheating, then you don't hear from me ever again. There's not even an explanation.
I got a video that I did. It's called 10 Levels of Disrespect. And I'll put it in the chat. Remind me to put it in the chat. It pretty much breaks it down and it talks about the levels that it goes to, and it starts very small. And so it starts at, calling you out your name. Then it goes to, standing you up, and it just levels, and it goes all the way to putting you in jail and putting your life in harm's way. So it's steps to it, and I'll send you that. It'll put things into perspective. But you mentioned tone. I used to have a problem with tone too. I have a big problem with tone. But as I've matured, I understand that people have to, if you're frustrated, just let it out. But just say what you got to say in whatever tone that you have. And my name is Andre. Just remember that. So that's something that because I have tone when I get frustrated, and in my relationship, I try to be fair and, I treat people how I want to be treated. And I want the room I don't want to have to if my girl do some bullshit, I don't want to have to fucking walk on eggshells and I'm going to say what I got to say, but I'm going to be respectful. But if I'm frustrated, I should be able to express that. And that's something that I had to grow to adopt. And once I accepted that, it became easier. But I used to be very sensitive tone, like, bitch, who you talking to? Like, who you talking to like that, right? Or don't fucking raise your voice at me. But now I don't really care. So whatever, you mad. And a lot of the times I don't attach my piece to a woman anymore. Like I've developed and created my own piece. So I mean, if you mad, all right, whatever, cool. Because a lot of the times we attach, and I know I'm getting sidebars, so I'm gonna get back into it. A lot of the times we attach our happiness and peace to whether a woman is happy or a woman's mental state in a relationship. So if a woman's day is fucked up, our shit get fucked up. I've learned a long time ago not to do that. So my girl coming here right now, man, that shit ain't got nothing to do with me. If I ain't do nothing to you, I don't give a fuck what you got going on. Just be respectful when you address it, right? And don't come at me with no bullshit. If it's something that I didn't do for you, I don't know. You better figure out a way to be like, babe, you know, I would like to do this, but don't come in here complaining. No, nothing. But I don't tie my happiness or my day is not influenced by my woman's mood. I learned a long time ago not to do that. I learned to create my own peace. It's exactly being self-fulfilled. I've learned to fulfill myself and not depend on a woman for anything, you know, to be self-sufficient. And so a woman is in my life today is basically an addition. Like my woman can leave right now and I'll be okay because I don't need her for anything. I don't need her for happiness. I don't need her to feel good about myself. I don't need her to, you know, be my peace. How most guys, but I need a woman to be my peace. I just need you not to disturb the peace that I've created for myself. And then we good. So when my woman, I got you, Javon. When my woman has a problem or when she wakes up on the wrong side of the bed, you know, 10 years ago, that would have like, what the fuck you walking around here with an attitude for da-da-da-da? And then you got some you getting some bullshit. And 90% of the time, the shit ain't even about you. It got nothing to do with you. You see what I'm saying? And I've learned to realize that like that shit ain't got nothing to do with me. Now, if I did something, that's different. You got a problem with me, that's different. But I ain't did nothing to you, so I'm not finna fuck my day up because your day fucked up. So that's pretty much how, you know, I deal with that as far as tone go and things like that. That don't got nothing to do with me. And if you're frustrated, I'll give you the room to express that because I get frustrated and I'm going to express it. So, and if you don't like it, you can get the fuck on. You know, I'm not going to disrespect you and I'm not going to be aggressive towards you, but I'm not finna I want to be free and expressive in my relationship. And I could be free and expressive without being disrespectful. And I'll allow my woman to be the same, you know, to be free and be able to express herself freely without disrespect. But go ahead, Javon.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. That's actually a really good point about, you know, she don't necessarily have to be in a good mood all the time. And it doesn't necessarily mean you're doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
And you gotta like be okay with not attaching peace to her peace. Because I used to have a problem with that. And I still think I'm kind of struggling with that. You know, if a woman's in a bad mood, at least like if a girl I'm dealing with is in a bad mood, I almost feel like I don't want to be around that. But that's something I got to work on, definitely. So that's good advice. And then my question about self-sufficiency was, I used to have this problem, and I think I still have it. I'm trying to improve. But the last girl I was with, I think I was actually extremely too self-sufficient, so much so to where she didn't feel like she had a place in my life. Like, I didn't really let her pay for nothing, barely, you know, like.
Oh, you're gonna learn. I'm about to talk about that next. You making a big mistake.
Yeah. So
go ahead.
Yeah, that was my question. I'm trying to figure out like, okay, because I hear too, like, you know, you want them to have some level of investment, but I almost kind of feel like, okay, I gotta handle my own in order for me to feel like, you know, the man that I am. But at the same time, it's like, well, if I let her do too much, then it's like I'm not handling my own shit. That's kind of how I feel. And it's funny because me and my homeboy, we were talking about this the other day, and then he came across this post called the dude was talking about you got a secretary max with your girl. So basically like having her as your secretary because, you know, they actually find fulfillment in helping you do these little tedious things.
You know what the crazy part is? They probably learned that from me. And I could show you. I was just pretty much I'm not saying that concept, I'm invented that concept. But that's something I learned that when I was like 15. When I came into this space, most guy was like, you know, basically MGTOW and super red pill. And, you know, 2018, I started talking about you got to make women invest in you and and it was like, what the fuck is you talking about? So now that has become like, you know, online at least, that has become like more of a thing because I start putting I used to keep it in courses, but now I start putting it out for free. And now more people are talking about it.
Yeah, took me full circle.
Yeah, that's a big proponent. You have to let women love you. You have to allow them to love you. And them loving you has nothing to you handling your business. You got your car, you got your money, you got your apartment and all that shit. It's all right to let a woman love on you because like, you know, like I always say, that's where women feel the most alive at, is putting their powers to use. Like, don't you feel good when you can take care of people and anybody that have a family or kids, like it feels good to be able to, provide for your children or provide, a safe, secure space for your family or your woman, and they don't have to worry about it. You go to work, that your wits, and your charm and your skills are the driving reason that people are comfortable and sustaining themselves and creating opportunity. To me, that feels good as a man. It feels that's feels good to the masculine man. Feminine women feel good when they're most nurturing and taking care of the men that they love and taking care of their people. And so you have to allow them to do that. And the next, because we're talking about respect, but the next, it's the third key, but it's going to be investment. And I'm going to get into that, real heavy. It's something I learned when I was very young, and I've been doing it ever since. And, it has allowed women to, basically fall back into their role, so to speak, which is nurturing, caring for, being loving, and supportive. Women feel very much alive when they're allowed to do that, especially when it's when they're appreciated for it, and they're when they're appreciated for it and they're getting something out of it. So when I say self-sufficiency, yeah, I mean like externally, like your crib and all that shit. But when I say self-sufficient, I mean more emotionally and internally. Most of us depend on women, whether it be, a void, or even when we have big egos, we depend on women, emotionally and internally. So like guys with big egos, I had a big ego. I depended on women to serve me, to make me feel better about myself when I was, all ego, because that confirmed to me that I was the man when a woman would be doing all this old shit. And so in hindsight, I was dependent on that, and then you got guys who are empty and they depend on women to feel better about themselves and to feel whole and complete. The key is to, ego death and to ground yourself and, pour into yourself to where you're okay alone. Like, it's good to have somebody, but you're okay. You're happy and peaceful without anybody. That's what I mean, self-sufficiency. And when women see that, that's very much attractive because it makes their job easy. You're not an emotional weight. Most of us unknowingly, when we don't know better, are an emotional weight on a woman. And that over time, it becomes overbearing because a woman has to be responsible for our emotions. Like my woman is not responsible for my emotions, and I don't allow her to make me responsible for her emotions. If she has some negative thoughts and negative bullshit, she already know, don't come to me with it. I'm not the guy who's emotionally available and I have emotional capacity for your female bullshit. I don't have the capacity for that. And I explained it in a way that she understands it, right? So let's say she go to the store, right? And we all have intrusive bullshit thoughts. What if she's sucking somebody's dick right now, right? What most people do is when she get home, they act funny and they want to go through the phone and, and they start some bullshit. And they start questioning her and shit because they let those negative emotions, they couldn't contain and regulate those negative emotions. And so now she has to be responsible for that. When, especially if she's moving and acting funny, and that's a little bit different. But if you just being anxious and having intrusive thoughts, you got to regulate that, because when you put that on somebody else, you become an emotional burden to them. They ain't gonna leave you immediately. It's not like an overnight thing, but over a while that gets very, very tiring. So I forgot why I was even going there, but
okay. So in other words,
a quick heads up, guys. We got 30 minutes, so let's make sure that we're on the clock.
Oh shit! Yeah, well let me get through this then.
Oh my bad.
Is the time constraint based on this software?
No, but I gotta get going in 30 minutes.
Oh, okay, sorry about that. We could run it back, like finish it up. Well, let me get to number 2. Let me finish this up, and then I'll answer the questions at the end. If I just thought that it was like, oh, can you be here for 30, an hour and 30 at least? I didn't know that it was like time cap. So I'll get more to it. But respect And my apologies on that because we're still on the first one. Respect, right? So how to establish respect is basically number one, like I said before, respect yourself, right? Number two, as a man, have something going for yourself as a man. When you're a young man, 18, 19, 20, it don't really matter. I mean, it matters in a sense, but you're not held to a standard. In this society, a man who's unproductive, and don't have anything for himself, pretty much is not going to be respected, especially by women. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. You can't change it. So have something going for yourself. And I'm pretty sure nobody in this room has that problem. The next one to, how to establish respect in the beginning is keep your word. If you say you're going to do something, do it. And that includes if you tell a woman your ass going to go home, if you say that again, or if you disrespect me again, your ass going to have to go home. If you say it, you got to do it. If you say you're going to do something good, do it. Just keep your word. Your word is everything. And people don't respect people who don't keep their word. And again, that goes with the idle threats that y'all be making. I don't want to be with nobody who's dressing like a hoe. Show her. And if you just talking and you ain't standing on it, people gonna lose respect for you. Show how. Go get out of here. Go home. If there's no other way. Actions. Get out of my space. That goes with respecting yourself. You never allow anyone in your space who's violating your boundaries. And then when she welcomes back after an apology. Yes. What if the apology is 15 minutes later? That's fine. That's cool. As long as she acknowledges it. Depending on how severe it is, sometimes it's like, I don't give a fuck about your goddamn apology. You got to go. But a lot of the times it won't come to that. But because apologies don't fix anything, apologies ain't going to fix the way you feel. And if you feel funny, you're just going to have to ride it out until whatever feeling you have blow over. You don't want to be faking and inauthentic, which leads me to the next point about establishing respect. You got to be confident and you got to be authentic. Is a mandatory. You can't be fake. This is why I don't like a lot of the stuff that they teach nowadays too, because it teaches you to be fake and to be something you're not. And when you get exposed, the woman lose respect for you. I see it all the time. And I pretty much damn near every day. Man, I was with my girl and then, we was all doing good. I was on my grind and I was, losing weight and I was in the gym. I was making my money. Then we got together. I got lazy and I fell off and then she stopped liking me and she left me and she cheated and all this old shit. Love exposes you. Love is going to expose you. There's two things that's going to magnify and expose exactly who you are. Love and money, right? And so if you're a sucker, right, or if you're faking, love is the comfort, the feminine energy and nurturing and comfort is going to bring out whatever you are. So if you're lazy and slack or faking, it's going to expose you. It's going to bring out who you are because it's going to make you comfortable. And if you're a masculine, go-getter type man, you're a masculine man who's, whatever good qualities you have, it's going to magnify that and it's going to multiply. Look at a guy like Grant Cardone or a guy like Gary Vee or a guy like all these guys that took that harnessed that power. Even Alex Hormozy. Alex Hormozy was making $1 million a year and then he got with his woman, and he multiplied that because that's who he was. If Alex was faking the funk and he wasn't really like that, he would have fell off. That love would have exposed him. It's not that the woman got in his way, it's that love exposed him. So what happens is this community teaches men to be something that they not, try to be more alpha or whatever stupid shit. And, guys end up faking the funk and then they get with a woman who's expecting something and that's not them. And you can't fake forever. The real you're going to come out soon enough, especially when that love hit and then the woman feels duped. You start falling off. You start getting that gut you got back and, all that shit. And then so make sure you're being confident and authentic and confident in who you are. If you're a nerd, be a nerd. There's plenty of women who like nerds. Don't let the internet lie to you. I got a $4,000 PC over there. Now, I'm not like a, grew up in the suburbs nerd, but I like nerdy shit. I got a $4,000 PC over there. I got 300 games on Steam. I play the video game. When I get off of here, I'm gonna script my YouTube video and I'm gonna be playing Baldur's Gate 3 for the rest of the night. That's what I'm gonna do. I don't give a fuck who like it. And I'm not gonna act like I like something else. I'm not gonna act like I'm something else to appease no fucking woman. So, you know, be who you are and be confident in who you are and be authentic, and don't lie. Don't lie. This is why I lost respect in that relationship that I was telling you about, because I was lying. And it wasn't that I was dealing with women, it's that I was lying and being conniving about it, you know, and the respect was ultimately lost for me. When I learned that, you know, telling a woman straight up, well, I'm going to want to deal with other people. I'm not available right now. Or, you know, yes, I have other women, or yes, this is what I'm doing. You get way much more respect, and the door will always be open for you. Like if you want to run back to them, or if it end and, you know, you can't fuck with them right now. If you have a woman's respect and she was sexually attracted to you, if you maintain that respect, the door will always be open. You know, she may not cheat on her man if she get into a relationship, but, you know, if that end or whatever the case may be, you know, if she's not a cheater. But some women cheat and they give you the access. But, you know, if she's not a cheater, like, she'll always be open to you. You know, you come back, you know, you always have that respect. But when you start lying, and, you know, people don't respect liars. So never lie. Always keep it 100. Don't even lie about how you feel. Are you mad at me? Yes. You want to be around me? No. You know, I want to take the day off and chill by myself. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. But that's how you establish respect. Now, real quick, this is the things that you do that make women lose respect for you. Allowing her or anybody to treat you poorly. Like, don't allow your boys to treat you poorly. Don't allow anybody to treat you poorly. You don't have to be a fighter or be violent to stand up for yourself. Hey, no, we're not going to, don't do that. You know, stand up for yourself. Don't allow people to disrespect you. Don't allow people to call you out your name. Don't allow people to exploit you and play with you. Another way that a woman loses respect, and this is big, pay attention, trying to buy a woman with gifts or money, basically leading with your wallet. Don't ever do that. This is what we call, in my world, a trick. A trick is somebody who pays for a woman's sex, time, or company with money or gifts. That's a trick. Nothing more, nothing less. The thing with tricks is women view tricks like we view whores. So the trick is the male equivalent to a slut, right? A trick is somebody who can easily, basically, like, anybody can get access to their resources. All they got to do is smile and throw pussy at them, and you can have their resources. The women don't, they'll deal with guys like that, just like we'll deal with sluts. We love sluts, but we'll never marry them, right? We like, oh, be a slut. We want to fuck and all this old shit, get our dick sucked, you know, with no attachments. And we want to do that just like women want to get taken shopping and, you know, get their nails done and get their bills paid. Women gonna prop up the tricks now. They doing it like a motherfucker, but they don't respect tricks because, number one, that's a security risk. Women know that, you know, if I get with this motherfucker and the next bitch smile at him, I work so hard to get with him and, you know, secure him and to secure my future. And I'm get stay at home mom and he's taking care of me. All the bitch got to do is smile at him and he gonna take my resources and give it to her. They're not going to tell you this, but this is how women think. We don't respect women who will give guys their body indiscriminately. All right, we don't respect women. We don't respect women who give guys their body indiscriminately, and women don't respect men who give their resources away indiscriminately. So tricking and leading with your wallet, a woman is not going to respect you. You're going to lose respect off the rip. And the sad thing about it is a woman will be with you. So for survival, she'll be with you for 10, 20 years and not like you or respect you like that. And you're just paying your way through. So don't ever leave with your wallet. Develop your personality and your lifestyle and your money and all that. That's secondary. That's just a bonus. But that's not what you do to get women because they're not going to respect you. So, and then lying and being authentic. So that's respect. I wish I could take. Maybe I'll come back. You mind if I come back and do a Q&A, Brian? Maybe next week.
Yeah, we might have to do a part 2.
Yeah. So if you guys have any questions about what I'm saying, just write it all down, and then You know, when we come back on the other one, I'll do a Q&A because I want y'all to get everything. But the next one is healthy chaos, right? And basically healthy chaos. So we got respect is number one. Number two is healthy chaos. Healthy chaos is a way to get a woman to engage her emotions the healthy way. And yes, negative emotions as well. 99, I would say 95% of women are dramatic. Not necessarily in a bad way, but they are more engaged and can live in their emotions. We emotional too, but you know, we suppress ours and try to, you know, move past our emotions. But women like to live in their emotions, and they succumb to them. Even the negative ones, it makes them feel alive. So, you know, a woman being jealous or whatever the case may be, that's a lot of the times can be enough satisfaction for her to, you know, where it can feel like her relationship is alive. Like, you know, her being able to feel something. And so healthy chaos is a way to get a woman to do that. You know, like jealousy, fear, anxiety, disappointment. These emotions make the positive emotions much better, right? They bring balance. And again, they also, you know, keep a woman stimulated. Now, the thing with the emotional component is you have to be the one doing it, because I'm pretty sure everybody in here has been with a woman and everything is all good. You're watching the game, you're playing the game, you're having fun, you're smiling, and she says some dumb shit like, "Do you even like me?" That's what I'm talking about, right? They feeling in their emotions because you off playing the game somewhere and you doing something, you're not paying attention to them, and they done had an emotional spiral because they saw a TikTok video. Put one in the chat if you've heard some dumb shit like that when everything was going good, or she come, you know, starting a problem. And it's not that it's a big problem, but we kind of like I don't even say overreact, because I think the reaction is warranted sometimes, but it turns into something that it don't need to be because we react to it, you know, rightfully so. And we react to it, and now this is argument, or there's this drama that's created. And it all stems from them coming with some left field stupid bullshit. Basically what I'm saying is, if you get out in front of that, and again, you don't have to like be something you're not, you don't have to be meticulous, you don't have to even like manage this, but you know, there's ways that you can live in a way that you can get out in front of this. So if you do it, she won't have to do it, and you can be prepared for it, right? So that's what healthy chaos is. Now, I say healthy because a lot of spaces and a lot of people teach doing the toxic way, like doing things to make her, you know, intentionally to make her jealous, or flirt with the waiter when you go out, or, you know, intentionally don't, you know, don't answer a phone. It's like doing stupid shit and playing little games. And what that does is show a woman that, you know, because she'll catch on eventually that you're playing games, and you're not going to beat a woman at emotional games. You can't beat women at emotional games because women are almost evil in that component. Like it's this like a gift and a curse. That's the way they fight masculinity. Is they have an evil emotional component, and you're not going to beat them there. So you don't want to play those games. And then when you're playing games with people, they kind of look at you different. So we want to do it healthily, right? We want to stimulate these good and positive emotions just based in the way that we live in our behavior. I'll give you an example. So let's say I'm going to get ready to go out with my woman, right? And we're going to go out to eat. Or we're going to go to a concert. I'm going to make sure I get super fly, have my best shit on, looking good. I'm going to do some push-ups before I go. I'm going to have on my best fucking cologne. I'm going to go get a haircut. I'm going to put some effort into my appearance, right? You don't have to do this all the time, but you just do it, you know, make sure you pull this trick out every stop. When you go somewhere, there's going to be a lot of women, right? Go to a restaurant, Applebee's, wherever. Your woman sees everybody looking at you. You notice all the women who look at you before you notice her. You ever been somewhere out with a woman and she's like, "Oh, that little girl like you," or she say some slick shit about somebody else because she think the woman like you or was looking at you or whatever? They see it before the women scan the room. We scan the room for danger. She scan the room for hoes and see who trying to take her man, right? Women are mate guarders when they love you. And so this, when she sees that you're this hot, not only say hot commodity, but, you know, you're something to be, you know, you're looking good, you're smelling good, your energy is right, you're confident. she gonna feel a certain type of way, but it's not in a way that she can bring in, she can bring you problems, because it's not like if you talk to the waiter in her face, she can raise a problem because you're being disrespectful. It's being disrespectful. So she can literally cause you a problem, but your woman is not gonna cause you a problem. She may say some passive aggressive shit because you looking good and you think they say little shit like, oh, you trying to impress all the hoes or whatever they say. But them even saying that, they feel a certain type of way about it. Now, what you want to do is you want to give your woman the PDA while, she's in this state, to let her know, you don't have to like be super reassuring. You don't fall into that, oh no, baby, but you don't got to do that sucker shit. But, you give her PDA and when you out together, and you looking good. So that's an emotional cocktail. Right. And so she got to feel jealous, anxious. Because another thing, too, is women project. So women think like this. They think other women look at you the way they look at you. So like if you ever had a woman who was like super in love with you, they was like super in love with you, and like you come around and you touch them and they dripping wet. They literally think other women think of that of you. They think every woman is thinking of you and getting horny the way you doing it. Right, the way she's getting like that with you, and that's not the case because every woman don't like you. But women project their emotions onto everybody, so they think other women look at you like that. So while this is going on, this is what she's thinking. Like you may walk in looking good, and she think the waiter come up and talk to you, just being nice, trying to take a, just get a big tip. She think the waiter is wet, like she's wet, so it makes her feel a certain type of way. But you elicit this when when she knows that you looking your best, you in shape, you got your cologne on, you doing your best, and you doing your one too. So when you go out with a woman, every once in a while, do it as, get in your bag and do it big, right? Another way, and I do this a lot. Like if I don't feel like hanging out with my girl, I'll tell her I don't feel like hanging out with her, and she just have to miss me. You make her miss you. And it's not playing games. Like you don't have to do it like playing games, but my girlfriend, my woman understands that relaxation is everything to me. Like sometimes I have to recharge by myself. I want to get lost in my video game, or I'm working and I can't be distracted right now. Like I can't have you talking to me while I'm trying to, write this script for this video, or, get this coaching plan together for this client, or write this webinar, or whatever the case may be. Give me some time. And so, she got to miss me sometimes. Or when I go somewhere, sometimes, a lot of times I'm dressed comfortable, slides on or whatever, because I live in Florida. Sometimes I get up and I put clothes on. I put clothes on, I put cologne on, and I go and I be gone all day handling business. But, she's thinking that all the women are just dropping dead, coochie dripping when I walk by. That's enough to create chaos in your situation and to get her emotions firing. But you don't want to be disrespectful or do things intentionally to stir this up, because you'll create a dynamic. You're basically gonna create a toxic dynamic, because she'll start doing the shit back to you. Again, you want to do it passively. You don't want to be disrespectful, right? Now I'm trying to breeze through this because we only got a few more minutes. But I can. I have a highly emotional woman. She cries watching fucking Netflix. The emotions can be kind of volatile with the highs too. I see it as feminine. But how's a man to trust a woman who's so swayed, and if they are loyal to emotions? This is a red flag. Not necessary. Let me get to that at the end, Brian. Because I have a, depending on how long you've been with your girl, I could help you with that. You can fix that. You can't fix her being emotional, but as far as her, if she's kind of making you responsible for him or whatever, but a woman being emotional is not indicative of whether she a cheat or not. That's bullshit. A cheater cheats whether they're emotional or not, right? So a woman who has bad character, and that's what she does, she gonna cheat whether she's highly emotional or not. And a woman who's not a cheater or a whore, or she's not gonna cheat. She may cause you problems emotionally, but There's people who cheat and there's women who don't cheat. So it just depends on the level of her emotional volatility and what she's doing with those emotions that makes it a red flag or not. But let me move on to the last one is investment. So you got respect, you got healthy chaos, and then you have investment. These three components, if you have these three components, these are the foundation for a woman to fall in love. And a woman is typically can't fall in love without these three. All three together have to be present, especially respect. Emotions. Let's talk about emotions real quick. Let's talk about emotions real quick. So emotions, I said emotion, I mean investment, sorry. A woman must be invested into you, right? Not only into you, but the situation. And this is important. And this is one of the first things I learned. I learned this when I was, I first learned it when I was 12, but it reinforced, my dad reinforced it when I was 15, because he used to write me letters from prison and he used to teach me about the game and, dealing with women and girls and stuff like that. And so, it was reinforced when I was about 15. But I want you guys to, how many stories have you heard of men saying, I gave her all this shit. We was together 20 years. I did everything for her. I gave her everything. And she was just able to up and leave. Or we've been together for a year and she just left me like it was nothing. Or after 6 months, she just left me like it was nothing. What happened was, number one, that woman wasn't attached to you and she wasn't invested not only into you, but into the situation. Women are not going to walk away from what they helped build. Does that make sense? I don't know if Javon is still on here, but this is something that he needs to listen to. You have to make women earn their keep in your life. Easy come, easy go. So if you're letting a woman walk into your life, if you're allowing a woman to walk into your life and not do anything, and she just, all she got to do is look good and have sex, you basically giving a woman a free ride, and it's basically a trick hoe relationship, really. And she's not providing value. All she's doing is having sex and looking cute. That woman isn't earning her keep in your life, and she's not going to appreciate the things that you do for her. She's not going to value the things that she do for her. And most guys will be like, oh, well, she's having sex every day. There's nothing for a chick who's been sexually active to be comfortable with having sex with somebody. Like, to me, that's nothing, especially for a hoe to do. That's not an investment to me, So that's why it's so easy for a woman to walk away from you, because they're not invested in you, right? And them investing in you, like I was telling Javon earlier, especially, in a way that gets them to be more open and be more feminine, they get to feel free and alive, and it almost gives them a sense of purpose, right? You ever see these women who, like these happy housewives who take pride into their homes and stuff like that? They have good men who appreciate that. But, you have to appreciate them. You have to show them that you appreciate them, dedicating, and, investing into you in the situation. But it basically feels like, they're fulfilling a purpose, with them using their feminine powers to make you a better man. And so you can maximize, what you bring into the home or what you bring into the relationship. But it's so easy for women nowadays, or even before, to walk away because they weren't invested, right? Think about this. You ever dated a woman for 6 months, a year, however long, and it was just like you just couldn't get over her? Anybody ever date a woman like that? You just like, I can't get over this bitch. Oh man, I can't get over it. And then you hit up Brian, or hit up your dating coach. You mess, hey man, how do I get over this chick, man? It's been a month. I can't. It's because you were so deeply invested in that woman. If God came back and he can give you all that time back, and he can write you a check, he could write you a check for all the money and bullshit you spent and can compensate you for your time, you wouldn't even be thinking about that bitch no more. But subconsciously, you're trying to figure out how to get your money back, how to get your time back, how to get your energy back, how to get your life back, because you invested so much. You have to get them to do the same. They'll be more proud of it. They'll be more appreciative of you in the situation. And you want a woman to be proud of what she helped you build And I'm not saying that you need to take money from a woman. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying to have a woman take care of you as a man. You as a man, you take care of yourself. But she needs to be invested and she needs to contribute. And if that's not there, the in love piece is not going to happen, because you're going to essentially be in a trick hole relationship. You're going to essentially be paying your way because you providing everything and she's just there fucking. And so, you know, or looking cute or washing dishes here and there, and you just taking her out doing everything, and she just got to show she's not going to be in love with you like that. Now, it may seem like it, and she may put on an act because she want to keep up the provision. Right? But ask her for $200 and tell her you went broke and watch what happens. She's gonna be out of there. So yeah, you have to keep a woman invested, right? Most guys are taught to never let a woman contribute. That's not what men do, and blah, 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 blah. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Women need to pull their weight too. In fact, they like to paint this narrative in the United States that, that women around the world don't work and their men are just providers and blah, blah, blah. You ever go to an Asian restaurant? Anybody ever eat Chinese food? Ain't that bitch in there collecting the money? You think she at home looking cute, sucking dick somewhere? No, she in there with him, helping him. Spanish people do it. If anybody been anywhere around the country, maybe the only place is like Muslim countries, you know, in the Middle East. That's a different story. And they put boot up ass over there. Them women basically in prison. But, you know, anywhere else, women contribute for sure. And if they not working, they contribute, and they at home farming, taking care of the kids, cleaning the chicken. You know, in Africa, they building the houses and everything. Women have to contribute. That whole, I want to sit at home and do nothing, princess treatment, that's a whore's fantasy. And what happens is whores have a voice, and they have the biggest voice. Rap songs, social media, and they paint this women image to regular women like this soft life thing is this a fantasy. It don't exist. Women,
I got a quick question about that.
Go ahead.
Real quick, this might be a little bit off topic, but how do you, I mean, is it even realistic to get a woman that you're not romantically involved with to invest in you?
You shouldn't do that, because I don't believe in awakening a woman's love in vain. You should, if you're not gonna be romantic, because that's gonna come back on you hard, bro. And this hell have no fury like a woman scorned. Don't ask me how I know. So I've learned that the hard way. Don't awaken a woman's love in vain. So if you know you don't want nothing to do with that woman and you just want to be casual, just keep it casual and keep it moving. This is more so maintaining long-term relationships.
Got you. Okay. All right.
Don't you better listen to me, man. You look kind of young. You look like you gonna learn the hard way. You young niggas like y'all don't like to listen to old niggas. Y'all don't like, huh?
How old I look?
You probably look about 30.
Yeah, I'm 30. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a young nigga. You think y'all don't like listen to old niggas like me who don't know what they're talking about.
No, I hear you. No. I definitely hear you. Well, no, the reason I asked is because, you know, this program is a lot about like, you know, doing your own events and, you know, social circle and stuff like that. So me and my homeboy that, you know, lives next to me that's also in this program, we kind of was talking about how it would be a great asset if we can get some, you know, ideally women, because they make it easier for people to come to a party, because it's, you know, people have their guard down a little bit more. So I'm like, damn, okay, how would we get them to? Now, if you're doing that for business, but don't like the Andrew Tate thing, right? How he may try to make women fall in love. Not necessarily that. Yeah, but like if you want to have a business relationship with a woman and stuff, you know, it's not really looking at it like investing in you. You know, they can invest in your thing because women want to be a part of something. And to be honest, you know, all of my fortune and, you know, good ideas and help, it came from women, because women are loyal. They may not be as competent as men, but they're not as cutthroat as men when it comes to business. I prefer to work with women. Like my partner is a woman. It's not my woman, but I partner with the woman that handles all my calls and do all my back end stuff as a woman. I would rather that than a dude. Dudes are cutthroat. So in that regard, yes, good to have women work for you. But if you fucking a woman, if y'all have like something sexual going on, just keep it that. Don't have her working for you. Don't have her investing in your thing, because you're going to get way too attached to you, and it's going to be hard for you to get away with that unscathed.
Does that make
Okay,
sense?
that was a little bit of a red flag on in my brain, because the girl that I'm dealing with actually has helped me a lot so far with it. Like, wanting to help though. So
It
you
don't
wouldn't
matter.
have,
Nah, it don't matter. Don't if you
cause
know
she
you
like
don't.
she bring other girls
If
and stuff
you're
like
a
that.
man, no, you're a man, and you got to control. You can't let the devil come to you with cake and be like, "Here, this shit good. I want to eat the cake with you." You got to be responsible for it. I know your mama taught you. Don't follow your friends.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter because they want to get in the stolen car and they say it's fun. And hey,
Right.
we want to take you to work in the stolen car. You got to, as a man who has something to lose, you
Yeah.
have to be more responsible. Women will help you drown if you let them. So, you know what I'm
You're right.
saying? So
She bring like 20 girls at my last event.
I mean, you're in a sticky situation, but
Yeah.
you need to let her know that it ain't gonna be nothing emotionally. You damn near might want to start compensating her, to be honest. But don't, if you sexually active with a girl and y'all dealing with each other, don't awaken her love, because you can't just. It is not. Oh, how do I walk away from a woman that's in love? You're gonna have some scars on you, my brother. Because
The
hell
thin
have no
line
woman
between
like.
love and hate.
Listen, and hell have no woman like with no fury like a woman scorned. My first podcast episode is called "The Evil Nature of Women." Women have an evil component. It's so evil, men don't understand it. Our gift is physical violence. As a man, that's how we protect ourselves. A man, you can kick in a man's door, and if you put him in harm's way, he can kill you and be okay with it. Now, most murder is tough for pretty much everybody to digest, especially, but in defense of yourself, we have the capability to do it. Women have the capability to be as cruel emotionally and underhandedly. You ever see a woman go to court, look a man in his face, and take everything he got and smile about it and be okay with it? We sitting here like, men, like, how the fuck is she able to do that and sleep at night? But then they look at us like, how the fuck he able to watch this dude beat the shit out of him and kill people and shit? And women can't fathom how we able to be violent. We can't, that's our evil nature, violence. Their evil nature is being conniving. And they can do it and smile and not feel bad at night. But that's how they fight masculinity. All I'm saying is you don't want to awaken that, my brother. I learned that the hard way. So the graveyard and the penitentiary is full of men who didn't understand that. So you got to figure out a way to kind of.
I'm gonna have to get back to you on some of this next week for sure.
Yeah.
I'll be here.
We'll do it again next week. And I want to, because I do want to, I know Brian got to go, but I want to talk about like ways to get a woman invested and how to do it, the smart way without, looking like a bum. But I guess we can tackle that next week if Brian up for it.
Yeah, this was dope, man. Appreciate you coming on. Hate to cut it off since we're vibing.
For sure. I my bad, because I just thought, I was like, an hour and a half. That's how much time, I at least want you to put an hour and a half in. I didn't know it was a cutoff, so my bad.
We'll do a part 2. Where can these guys find you?
King Dreism on Instagram. KingDreism. King Dreism. KingDreism. I'll put it in the chat. Type in on YouTube. It's more my long form stuff. It's just type in King Dre. So here on Instagram, King Dreism. And if you got any questions about anything or anything we talked about today, just hit me up. And I'll be back. If Brian got time, I'll just come back next weekend. We could finish this off. And if you guys had questions about this, because I want to talk a little bit more about investing, because that's a very important component of it. So yeah, we'll do it again.
Awesome, man.
I appreciate y'all for coming down.
Yep. And make sure you guys follow him on socials and stuff. Thanks for joining us, guys. See you next time.
All right.
For sure. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
All right, for sure.
All right.
Later.